Welcome to this episode of the Real Producers Partners podcast. I'm your host, David Owen with Changecape Web. In each episode, we speak with real producers partners to learn more about them and their business. Today, I'm joined by John McNeil with Units Portable Storage. Welcome, John.
Good morning.
So, how long have you been with Units Portable Storage?
I've been here a little over 2 years.
Okay. And what'd you do before?
I'm a financial planner by trade. I've owned quite a few businesses. I've owned a trucking company. I have a insurance agency that I'm putting myself out of because I'm
Okay.
slowly moving stuff around. But I've been in the financial business and entrepreneur for, I would say, the last 30 years. I was in the military before that.
Wow. What branch of the military?
I was in the Navy. I was an officer in the Navy.
Okay. Well, that's as important a job as there is, in my opinion. My dad
Yeah,
was in the Air Force. I never served.
yeah, it was a fun experience. I got to travel the world when I was a lot younger, and
Yep.
probably enjoyed it more than I would now that I'm older. But
Yeah.
it was fun. I enjoyed what I did. I was aviation supply officer, and I took care of all the planes, making sure that they were ready. So I was on an aircraft carrier for 44 months. So
Any special place you went that was particularly notable?
we were the first carrier to go pierside in Diego Garcia, which is a Navy base out in the Indian Ocean. We were the first carrier to go pierside there.
Uh-huh.
I went to Japan. I went to the Philippines. I spent Christmas in Singapore. I pretty much went everywhere. I mean, we were in Italy, Spain. We were off of Beirut in the mid '80s. We fought with Gaddafi in '86. I was part of that. We were part of that battle group out there. I was out to sea for over a year that time. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. I saw a lot of great places.
Wow. You have been around the world.
Yeah.
So, so why are you working with Units Portable Storage?
Well, I kind of winded down. I was traveling quite a bit, and I didn't want to travel so much. So a client of mine had bought this franchise and was looking for somebody to run it because it wasn't doing as good as he thought it should do.
Okay.
So I took a look at it, and I mean, it didn't seem like it was a very hard business to run. I mean, every business is pretty much the same. You sell a product, you collect the money, and you move on. And so I helped him out. I collected. He had a lot of problems with the receivables. He didn't really have the person in here that really knew how to run a business. And I turned the business around, and then I decided to stay. So
Okay.
that's basically it. I didn't know anything about portable storage. I know more than I want to know about it now, but I didn't know anything about it. But every business is similar. It's the same preface.
Sure. So, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to do that?
The best way to get a hold of us is either call us at 414-476-8648,
Okay.
or you can send an email to info at unitsmilwaukee.com.
Okay. Do you have a website?
We do. It's Units Milwaukee. Units Milwaukee. I think it's unitsmilwaukee.com.
Okay.
It's if you Google it, it comes up on Google. We do have a website. Yes.
Okay. So, how do you typically get clients? How do people typically find you?
Well, there's 2 to 3 ways roughly. A lot of it's referral. I do a lot of restoration work with like a Paul Davis or a Kelman. Somebody has a problem flooding or damage to their house, and they have to put their contents in a container. They call us. We bring a container to the house, and they put the contents in it while they're fixing the problem in the house. We get a lot. We get real estate agents. We get Google. We run a lot of ads on Google, Facebook, and Instagram. That's where the retail type of business comes from. The rest of it is restoration companies. I go out and contact contractors. We do a lot of basement floor repair contracting. People need a container for 2 weeks. We supply them with a container at a reasonable price, which most companies don't. They charge a full month, but I have a 2-week special that we run
Okay.
just for garage floors and basement repairs if it's a short time.
Okay. So you mentioned short term. You have long term plans as well?
We do. If I have somebody, we have a lot of people in the boat right now where they have sold their house, haven't found a house. It's been going on for like 2 years. It's just a climate of what we're in. The market being really tight, inventories are tight. So I usually, if somebody's going to store with us for more than 3 months or 3 months, I usually give them a half price off the first month.
Okay.
Or maybe depending on if they're looking at 6 months, I may give them $20-$30 off a month. So it'll help them in the long run.
Okay.
A lot of people, if it's a short-term type deal where we're storing a container for maybe a month, I won't even charge them for the storage. I'll just give them our normal rate. So, I mean, I'm very flexible. We're local. I am the call center. So it's pretty much what my decision is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just really easy to work with. I tell people all the time, all you have to do is pay me and I'll do everything else, whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
But the communication is the key. People communicate with me and we take care of their problems. I've got probably 75-star reviews on Google. And like I said, it's just about communicating with people.
Sure. Well, business all boils down to communication.
It's the key to anything.
Yep. So, will you take containers and put them, if let's say someone wants a container, but they don't want it to stay there?
So yeah, we'll take a container out there. They can fill it up and we bring it back to our warehouse.
Okay.
And usually most of the time right now, I haven't been charging for storage. But yeah, we do a lot of that. I mean, we do it like in Milwaukee where people don't have driveways and that.
Yeah.
We drop a container off, they'll fill it up. We'll put flashers out there. And as long as you pick it up by the end of the day, the city doesn't usually, you don't have to get a permit for it. So
Right.
We're flexible that way. Most of my competition is not flexible. We can put containers anywhere because we have I call it a portable forklift. It's a tractor forklift. So we put containers in between houses. We've put containers in backyards. We've put containers in alleys. We put them in carports.
Wow.
As long as they're 8 feet high, we can fit it pretty much anywhere.
So how big are the containers?
We run our 16s are 8 by 8 by 16, so 8 high, 8 wide, 16 long, and then we have an 8 by 8 by 12.
Okay. I know a guy that has a landscaping business,
right?
And he told me he bought a container. Do you sell them?
We do from time to time.
Okay.
I do deal a lot with landscaping companies, not so much in the summer, but in the winter.
Sure.
They'll do plowing, so we'll set up containers mostly at hospitals or large complexes, like office complexes. We'll put it in the corner, and they'll keep their salt and their snow blowers and all this stuff in there, so you don't have to drag it around with them. So I have a few clients like that to where we rent them out from the middle of November till the middle of April, and it helps in our slow season.
Okay.
But yeah, we do sell them. They can call me and people can inquire about them.
So you talked about a warehouse that you keep them in. Where's the warehouse located?
The warehouse is in New Berlin. It's a 30,000 square foot climate controlled warehouse. We have half of the warehouse. The other part is the New Berlin Sportsplex. So it's on off of Cleveland Avenue in New Berlin, 163rd South 163rd Street. But everything's climate controlled. Everything's kept inside.
What's the access like? I mean, can anybody get in there?
Well, you have to call. Nobody can get in there unless you call. We have to let you in. It's a pretty contained area. It's locked. It's alarmed. But if a client stores with us and needs to get in their container, give me a day or two notice, and we'll put it outside for them to get their stuff out or put stuff in it. We do that quite a bit.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, how many containers do you have?
Right now we have 270 containers. We have, I got to think about this for a minute. I believe we have 50 of the 12-foot units, and we have 220 of the 16-foot containers.
Okay. Now, are those stored typically outside? Do you have them outside? You don't store
When
the
they're
empty ones in the.
sometimes, I mean, it's about a half and a half. We try to keep everything inside out of the weather. We probably have maybe, I've got to think, maybe 8 containers outside at any given time, but they're all empty. Nothing that has any of the customer stuff in it is stored outside.
Okay. So, what's your your delivery area? What area do you cover?
So our area covers, we cover from all the way to Watertown to the west. We go to Elkhorn, Lake Geneva area to the south. We've even gone into northern Illinois. We have a franchise in Chicago area, but if the people are moving from that area to Wisconsin, we usually take care of that and move them up here.
Okay.
We go as far north as Sheboygan. We've gone as far north as Manitowoc or Green Bay on special occasions.
Wow.
We go to Oshkosh.
That's a large area.
Yeah, it just depends. If we could fit it in, a lot of the stuff the longer ones we try to do on the weekend. We don't usually do a lot on the weekend, very rarely, but if somebody needs something done and it's worth both our whiles, we'll do it.
Okay.
It's all about communication. Once again, you let me know what you want to do, and I'll try to do what I can do.
Sure. Well, it sounds like you're focused on customer service.
It's 100% of our business. That's you. I mean, that's the reviews, everything. You take care of the customer, and every time I get done with a customer, I ask them to give me a review if they're bored and have a little time. Do a review for me, because that's the only way that people know what we do and how we do it.
Right. Well, and reviews are good ways to expand your business because people trust what other people say about their experience.
Right. And we're A+ with the Better Business Bureau too. We're accredited with them. The Trustpilot, we're on all the factions. I think, since I've been here, I don't think I've gotten any bad. We've had one bad review, I think, the whole time. This franchise has been here since 2009. So,
wow. Okay.
But
that's good.
That's what you strive for. Nobody's perfect, but you try to do the best you can for the customer.
That's right. That's right. So what's a typical client for you? We talked about the remodelers and
restoration companies. I mean, like I said, they're working with insurance companies on claims. We have those. That's probably about, I'd say, 35% of our business. The other 65% I call is retail, which is people that are moving. They'll either their real estate agent, hopefully, will refer us. If not, they'll Google us and try to compare us to our competition. And a lot of times, we favor very well with the competition because our pricing is quite a bit lower. When they discount, they usually get around what our normal price is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we haven't, I've been here 2 years. We have not, in this inflationary time, we haven't raised our prices at all. In fact, most of the time we have lowered it to try to keep the business going in this climate, because people are, they're short on cash. It's the climate we're in. Everybody's raising their prices. I'm trying to keep them the same or help them out, because they're in a tough spot as it is, because they got to move, so.
Sure.
But that's basically I go out and try to sell to remodelers and basement guys and stuff, trying to get more business, more of I call it the corporate business, because if I can get a 60-40 ratio, it's not bad, because like I said, in the climate right now, you're busy and you're not busy because the inventory is so, there's not much inventory. So you got to do what you got to do.
Exactly. So what other businesses are targets for you? You mentioned the remodelers and the restoration folks. Do you do any work with auto repair or
We,
anybody like that?
we have had containers at body shops. A couple of them. We had car dealerships. We had 4 or 5 containers out. From time to time, we had, guys. We had a contractor that was redoing all the Wendy's in the area, so we provided containers for that to store the furniture in while they were doing the rebuild.
Okay.
I deal with apartment complexes when they're redoing apartments if they have to redo. Pretty much anybody. I try to get I deal with builders, so we have a couple clients that are home builders. So what we do is they have a model home. When they sell the model home, we come and get the contents out of that model home, store it until they start a new model home, and we bring it to that one. So I mean, we have a couple of the larger builders that in this area that we do a lot of work with. It saves them money because they don't have to keep buying new furniture. They just move it from one model to the other.
Right. Makes the logistical aspect much easier.
Right. It's cheaper for them to pay me a month or two in rent than it is to go out and buy new furniture for all their model homes.
Right. So it sounds like price is a differentiator for you.
Yeah.
What else would you say it makes you different from other providers?
Well, the way we deliver the container, because most places have it on a truck. You have to have a big wide open area for a truck to come in. We basically park in the street. We take it off the truck with the mobile forklift, and we bring it into your driveway. The truck never goes into your driveway.
Okay.
You can put it in your backyard. We can put it in your front yard. We can put it in a side yard. Like I said, we can put it pretty much anywhere you want it, as long as we can get back to that spot. I put it on back porches before.
Wow.
Yeah, it's. I have pictures of a lot of stuff where we put them. It's kind of weird because the competition can't do that.
Yeah.
But and our delivery price is fairly reasonable too. I mean, it's as long as you're in the Milwaukee area, it's fairly reasonable price too.
Yeah, because fuel costs taking them out.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been that's been the big thing. I've tried to keep. I run a lot of specials in the wintertime and just do a $50 flat delivery fee if you're within 20 miles of my area.
Yeah.
And it's all about logistics and planning, and that the trucking business helped me with dispatching. I'm pretty good at dispatching people, so I do the best I can with what I have. But yeah, it's all about setting people up and picking out dates, and when we pick up containers, try to have something in the area where we can just clean the container and take it to a new place. So
yeah. So what's kind of the lead time? So if somebody wants a container, how fast can they get one?
So usually, I mean, even right now, normally in the busy season, I need a couple of days. If you're in the Milwaukee area, if you called me today, I could probably get you a container by Thursday at the latest.
Okay.
Maybe tomorrow, depending on where you're at. I mean, as long as you're, like I said, if you're within 20 miles, even a lake country area, I can probably fit you in and get you in a container the next day.
Okay. So when you take a container back, what's kind of the process? Is it, you mentioned them being cleaned?
Well, we take them back, we sweep them out, we sanitize them, we spray them down, and then if the outside's got anything on it, we try to pressure wash the outside. We have some containers that are the older roll door containers, like a garage door, and they have lips on them, so we paint them from time to time. I mean, it's just general maintenance that we need to do on the container to keep them, keep them feasible and rentable.
Yeah. Is there any restriction on what people can put in them other than size?
Like I mean, the weight is 9,000 pounds, but you can't put anything flammable in it. You can put a lawnmower in it, but you have to drain everything out, drain the gas and the oil out of it. But
yeah,
mainly nothing that's flammable.
Okay.
That can combust.
Yeah.
Most people don't do that. Most people are putting furniture in there. And so, I mean, as long as it's not flammable, you can put it in there.
So it's probably big enough you could put a car in there.
You could. Yep. Yeah. We haven't had anybody do that, but I'm sure you could probably fit a car in there easily.
Yeah. Well,
But haven't
it would
had one
be
like
under the
that.
weight. Yeah,
I
it
had
would
somebody
be.
put a couple boats and kayaks in there, but
Yeah.
nothing, not a car yet. I've asked people have asked me if they can store their car, and I go, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Because even if you drain everything out of it, there's just things that can go. I don't, I don't want to start storing cars.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. That's a whole nother business.
Exactly. I mean, if I had room in the warehouse, I would do that, but I just don't with the amount of
Yeah.
containers I have. So,
Yeah. So what other details should people know about you guys?
well, I mean, even if I'd like to, if people have an insurance claim, I've been delving into this, trying to get with the insurance companies and just saying, hey, if they need contents and the restoration company they're not working with a restoration company, have them call us. We can bill them directly, and then you can reimburse them, and you take out the middleman. And it's been kind of successful. It's something different that I looked at doing, because there's some restoration companies that we don't get a lot of business from or don't know who we are. So I just try to get to the customer first and
Right.
set up the container with the insurance company, and the customer will pay, and then it's kind of like when you get in a car accident and you get a rental car. This is the same thing. Your house has got damage, and you get a container to put your contents in while they're fixing your house. This is same basic concept.
Sure.
So I've tried to do that. I mean, the model is the model. I try to deal with a lot of restoration companies. We have a lower rate. It works well, and the insurance companies enjoy it because it takes the middleman out.
Right. Right.
But that's really the only other thing that we're looking at doing. I mean, it's just a business, just to get more containers on the street is the key. So, I mean, we've even had colleges and universities. We put 2 containers out at Cardinal Stritch because they wanted to archive all the stuff they have, and it's going to UWM here in Milwaukee. And so we've got 2 containers of theirs full of stuff right now, books and archives, that we're going to move to UWM later in the summer. So we do that too. I mean, we do a lot of different things. It's not really one, I try to take care of everybody. Anybody calls, I try to solve the problem.
Sure. Sure. Well, that's a good thing. And
If
once again, let's remind everybody the phone number.
Phone number is 414-476-8648. If you call that number, you're going to talk to me. Like I said, I am the call center. Every time you call that number, I'm going to answer. I don't have a screener. I don't have a secretary. I am me. I believe in hands-on. I believe in talking to the customer myself, so I know exactly what they want, when they want it, and what they want.
Well, and the good news is you speak English.
Yes, it's helpful.
It is
Very helpful.
It is helpful.
And I also look, when we're putting something in their driveway, I can Google their driveway and look at the driveway and tell them where I think they should put the container, what would be feasible for them. They can't do that. I mean, it's just the call centers are great if you're trying to, I guess, save money. I'm trying to take care of the customer.
Right. Right.
And every customer is the same. It's not a grouping of customers. Every customer is individual. They all have individual different needs, and I try to take care of those needs.
Well, I mean, that's a refreshing attitude. That you're not talking to a computer that called you.
Yeah. Or doing something online and they say one thing, and by the time you get the bill, it's another.
That's right.
Everything's up front. There's no hidden fees, no hidden taxes, no other than sales tax. There's nothing hidden. The rate is the rate, and it's all set up front. And
if I called and wanted a container, and you told me the price, how would you communicate that? Would you text me? Would you email me?
No. When I get it, if somebody's online and they send a reservation in or looking for a container, I call. I do text from time to time. If they're on a platform that we have, I can text if they want me to do that. I call. If I don't get the person, I leave them a message, explain to them what it is, how I can help them. Give me a call. I might be able to save you some money, and we go from there. I believe I'm old school. I believe in talking to people and calling people.
Okay.
We'll text when we deliver if there's some people that don't, but some people like, there's a lot of people still like the phone call because they like to know who they're dealing with and the sound of a voice.
Absolutely.
I have my driver, when he delivers a container, he calls the client, explains to him he's 30 minutes out. This is what I'll look like. This is what I'm driving. And that way the person's not alarmed or spooked or anything else. They know what they're getting and who's coming.
Okay. And then how do you take payment?
Most of the time, we if we're direct billing somebody, we'll take checks or direct deposits. But most
Okay.
I would say 99.5% of our clients it's credit or debit card.
Okay.
It's just easier that way, and then it bills every 30 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of companies, I mean, once again, the communication, if a customer calls me and says, look, I don't need the container for the whole month. Let's say they've rented it for 2 or 3 months and they need 2 more weeks. I'll work with them and prorate the rates so they're not paid a whole month.
Sure.
I would say 100% of my competition does not do that. They charge. I've heard horror stories of if they're 1 or 2 days over, you get charged and there's no refund. I just, once again, it's a customer service thing. You pay for what you need. That's the way I look at it. If you only need 2 weeks, I'll find somebody else that needs it the other 2 weeks.
How refreshing.
Well, like I said, I've been in business, different businesses for 35 years. It's done me well.
Sure.
To take care of the customer.
You bet. You bet. Well, we've talked about 25 minutes, and do you have anything else you'd like to share?
If somebody needs a container, just give me a call.
Okay.
Call me. I'll do the best I can do to help, whether it's a real estate agent or their client. I will do the best I can do to take care of the problem. And I mean, I even recommend a couple movers. We don't really move. We move the container, but I recommend high-class movers too that will come and, load the container for you. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's just whatever they need. I try to do the best I can to help them out.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Well, John, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you taking the time out of your day to talk about what you do. And I hope folks will reach out to you.
Well, appreciate the podcast, and I'm hopeful. Make the phone ring. That's my motto. Got to make the phone ring.
There you go.
All right.
Thanks again.
Yes. You have a good day.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.